become so skilled, so vigilant, so flat out fantastic at what you do that your talent cannot be dismissed.
So here's my specific advice on how to compare yourself and model success properly.
You gotta master what you're going to master.
Rise and shine, it's Espresso time. What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. My one word is believe, and I believe in you. I believe you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, and I want you to find it, embrace it, and use it to make a difference. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message. Master your craft. Over to you, Oprah Winfrey.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
The number one lesson I could offer you where your work is concerned is this: become so skilled, so vigilant, so flat out fantastic at what you do that your talent cannot be dismissed. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You're only on this planet to be you, not someone else's imitation of you. I had to learn that the hard way on the air, live, anchoring the news. One night in my 20s, when I first started broadcasting, I was 19, moved to an anchor by the time I was 20, and I was just pretending to be Barbara Walters. I was just trying to talk like Barbara, act like Barbara, hold my legs like Barbara. And I was on the air, and I hadn't read the copy fully, and I called Canada, and I did that on the air. I cracked myself up because I thought Barbara would never call Canada. And that little breakthrough, that little crack, that little moment that I stopped pretending allowed the real me to come through. Your life journey is about learning to become more of who you are and fulfilling the highest, truest expression of yourself as a human being.
So I think comparing yourself to other people is actually an amazing strategy, can be extremely beneficial when done properly, especially if you're trying to master your craft. I think you need to use it though as a kick forward and not down. Too often people compare themselves to other people and say, well, look what they have. I can never have that. I suck. I'm the worst. And you just kick yourself down about how poor you are. Don't do that. Use it as a push forward. Use it as a tool to know what's possible out there for you. I love young Les Brown. He's my hero from a speaking perspective. Young Les Brown is the man. I love watching him speak. Watching him speak doesn't make me feel inferior. I look at that as inspiration to know what's possible. And now I can't just copy young Les Brown because I will only ever be a junior version of him. But modeling success works. If I can pull one thing from Les Brown and one thing from Steve Jobs and one thing from Oprah Winfrey, that helps me become the best me. Oprah, when she was getting started in her career, loved Barbara Walters. She wanted to be the next Barbara Walters, and she studied Barbara, and she wanted to be exactly like Barbara. And then she had to learn how to be Oprah. Like, the strategy is not try to be Barbara Walters, but by comparing yourself to Barbara, you can learn from Barbara, apply what worked from her to work for you, try it, see it, taste it, see if it feels right, and then expand. So I think if you want to be a great interview host, you need to compare yourself to Oprah. You need to compare yourself to Barbara. You need to compare yourself to Larry King and all the greats that have come before you. You can't just be a copy of any of them, because then you're just Larry King or Oprah Winfrey Jr. That's not the path to success. But you can learn a couple things from each of these people to help you get to where you need to go a lot faster. Comparing yourself and modeling success is one of the fastest shortcuts to get to where you want to go, as long as you're using it, the caveat, as a kick forward and not down. So here's my specific advice on how to compare yourself and model success properly. 1, look at the people in your industry who have won. Bill Gates saved my first company. I've never met the man, but I had a software company. He had the most successful software company in the world. I learned his strategies. I applied it to my business. We started to take off. Look at who has had success in your industry and learn from their strategies applied to your company. You know that those things work. 90% of the same way it worked for them will work for you. That last 10%, you need to tweak, you need to adjust, you need to customize, you need to make it your own. But you do not need to come up with every genius idea to work in your industry. Success leaves clues, follow them. So that's one, look at the people already inside your industry. Two, look at other aspirational mentors that you look up to. Take one of your heroes. I've got a bunch of people up on the wall behind me. Whoever is the relevant person for you. If you love Oprah Winfrey, but you're making sneakers, you can learn from Oprah. Success leaves clues not just within an industry, but across all fields. So I would take the person or the group of people that you love, that you look up to, that you respect for whatever reason, and dissect their success, dissect their mindset, dissect how they look at the world, dissect how they come up with new ideas, dissect the strategies that they're using. Because if you can figure out how to take what Oprah did in media and apply it to selling shoes, you will win. And so comparing yourself to others in a positive way only, as a kick forward and not down, to help you master your craft, to help you become the best version of you, I think is ultimately how you win and how you get there much faster. Now I've got a really special bonus clip for you that I think you're going to enjoy, but before that, I want to know, how have you compared yourself to somebody else in a positive way that has helped you grow, learn, and get somewhere else faster? How have you modeled success? I would love to hear from you. Leave it down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is. Much love. I'll see you again tomorrow morning for another shot of espresso, and enjoy the bonus clip.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
When I started studying, everyone says, "Oh, you're going to be a gym teacher." I said, "No." I said, "I'm going to work with professional athletes." I knew what I wanted to do. I said, I'm going to work with professional athletes. So that was the goal I set in my mind, and I just said, hey, that's going to take a place in my head. That's the only thing that I want to do, and I got to figure out a way to get there. So I studied and learned my craft better than anybody else. Did I start with the professional athletes? No. After I graduated, I went to work in a local health club. Really, I knew everything from a book standpoint, but still, you got to know how to apply it. Okay, so I, worked with anybody I could.
These are not pros.
These aren't pros. I'm talking about housewives. I'm talking about individuals that just want to get in shape. People that have had injuries from different sports, kids, anybody. Just kind of developing programs, implementing what I've learned, and actually being able to apply it. Mm-hmm. And once I started to look at that craft, I said, okay, now I'm starting to figure out how to actually apply this stuff and how to use it and put the formulas together and put the workouts together and do all these different things. I mean, stuff that they're doing now from a workout standpoint, I was doing 30 years ago.
Wow. So none of the stuff is new to you?
Some of the stuff is new, is different. I stay on top of it.
Right.
All right, I got to continue to learn, continue to be better myself so I can better my athletes, better my craft. Mm-hmm. But it's just a different way of doing the same thing. Right now there's a lot more resources, a lot more education, a lot more testing available. Back then you kind of had to just figure it out. A lot of individuals now, okay, especially in this generation, not only from a training standpoint, but from a knowledge standpoint, they're jumping from one thing to another. Yeah. They're using this trainer this week, they're using another trainer next week, they're using this person as a mentor on YouTube, then they're using this person over here, okay, and they're getting all this conflicting information, okay? You gotta master what you're going to master, okay? You have to figure it out. Too many people are jumping from place to place to place. Michael, Kobe, all these individuals, they mastered one aspect of the game. When they mastered that aspect of the game, then they moved to another aspect of the game.
Being great at your craft is a requirement.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't suggest that you don't try and get work or hustle or do all those other things while you're coming up, because that's a part of the game, and that's, Gary Vee is a big advocate for hustling, and so you got to hustle your whole way, but being great at your craft actually matters.
Yeah.
And having the camera is like an extension of my arm, and you think about it, I've used the pro golf analogy. I don't know why I not crazy about golf, but those guys have to, and women have to stand up on the tee and hit the ball down the middle because that's what they're paid to do. It doesn't matter if it's raining, sunny, windy, if there's 10 people watching or 10 million, they're paid to hit the ball down the middle. And as an artist, you're paid to make, and as an entrepreneur, you're paid to deliver the ROI to the shareholders, and as a wrestler, you're paid to win, or like whatever your thing is, you have to be great at your craft in order to, I think, achieve. So there's this 10,000 hours, hardcore, the folks that I think are great, whether they're hacking the system and doing it in 10 hours or 10,000, that is, I think people want to skip that step.
Yeah, I get, you know, for every email that I get about the craft of writing, I get 1,000 about how to market books. And I'm just like, hold on, the ratio's all wrong. So no, I would agree with that.
And so that gets overlooked. Like, I just want to be this awesome fashion photographer and hang out with like awesome, you know, beautiful people in crazy locations. And it's like, dude, you got to be like, actually pick up a camera and get good at that shit first, and then you might be able to do, you know, part.
If you tell yourself a story long enough, you start to believe it, and once you believe it, you act like it.
I have tussled with a whale, I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. Now you know I'm bad. Only last week I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe.